Norway was originally a poor country. Then they hit the jackpot in the North Sea and were wealthy beyond their wildest expectations. But how did this unexpected economic upturn occur? So let's talk about how Norway got very rich. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Norway is one of the world's wealthiest countries. In recent years, it has routinely been among the top 10 nations in terms of per capita GDP. Per capita GDP is a basic statistic used by economists to compare the relative prosperity of nations. A country's per capita GDP is calculated by dividing its gross domestic product by its population. This metric is intended to account for disparities in scale between economies of small and big populations. Norway has a per capita GDP of $75,428 according to the World Bank data for 2017. That year, it was the fourth most prosperous country in the world. Norway has routinely been among the top 10 wealthiest countries in recent decades, ranking higher than traditional European powers such as France, the United Kingdom, the United States, and China. Small city-states like Luxembourg, economic hubs like Singapore, and West Asian oil producers like Qatar are the only countries that compete with Norway. Reasons for their high standard of living. It is known for having the best living standards, and one of the main reasons for this is its prosperous economy. It is powered by oil and gas exports, which makes it incredibly efficient and reliable. It also ensures that it will remain one of the richest countries for many years to come. Petroleum is another important cause of Norway's riches. It also has significant reserves of seafood, hydropower, lumber, minerals, natural gas, and fresh water. Aside from these, Norway has the lowest unemployment rate in the world. This is what makes it such a productive country. Furthermore, because Norwegians have a high salary rate, their purchasing power is also high. They have greater wealth than Americans on average and spend significantly more on their costs and style of living. As a result of these factors, Norway can provide free health care as well. Major industries in Norway. Norway is a major metal, paper, and chemical exporter. Other main industries include oil and gas, fishing, tourism, and manufacturing. Shipping and hydropower. The oil and gas business is the most important sector of the Norwegian economy, accounting for over 1/5 of the country's GDP. The majority of Norway's oil and gas production is exported abroad, giving the country important foreign cash. Despite being a major producer of oil and gas, Norway meets 98% of its domestic electricity demand via hydropower. This has aided Norway in making hydropower generation the country's second largest industry. Fisheries and shipping, for example, were important contributors to Norway's early history and remain important components of the Norwegian economy today. In recent years, emerging industries such as tourism have also contributed to its growth. How did Norway become so wealthy? Norway grew wealthy by efficiently utilizing its plentiful natural resources and advantageous geographic location. Historically, it has had a weakly regulated private sector and a well-managed governmental sector. Oil and gas exports have contributed significantly to Norwegian wealth since the 1970s. Norway's territory is vast, with very few people inhabiting it. It contains extensive woods, several fjords, Europe's longest coastline, and is close to the Northern Europe's early maritime and industrial powers. Norway was able to overcome its far northern environment, which would have otherwise hindered its potential to productively build its economy through agriculture because of its enormous natural resources and strategic geographical location. Furthermore, Norway's long coastline enabled it to diversify into fishing, shipping, and maritime trade. By the late 19th century, it boasted one of the world's largest commerce fleets. Norwegians were among the most literate in Europe due to their reformer Lutheran culture. It was also well connected to global commerce routes and close to Northern Europe's early industrial hubs. Because of these circumstances, Norway began industrializing very early in the 18th century. In the industrial period, Norway's woods remained a vital resource. They supply the charcoal required for Norway's iron ore exports, and by the turn of the century, Norway had already outperformed most European countries except the great powers such as the United Kingdom and France. Then, in the late 1960s, oil and gas were discovered in the North Sea. Over the previous half-century, this incredibly good fortune has propelled an already successful country into the ranks of the world's richest. Norway's private sector economy has traditionally been relatively open and competitive. However, its public sector is properly managed. The riches created by Norway's oil and gas industry have been put to good use in a fund that invests on behalf of all of its residents. The Norwegian government has invested considerably in health and education. As a result, Norwegians not only have a high-quality, relatively stress-free lifestyle, but they are also extremely productive professionals. The Norwegian government has also made wise investments in the country's infrastructure. Today, it continues to invest in other types of power generation to ensure that the ultimate fall of the fossil fuels industry does not negatively impact future generations of Norwegians. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comments section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.